Look, I'm wearing smiley face socks today, which is ironic because I'm probably going to get very ticked off in this video. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or to it if this is the first time you are seeing this face. Thank you so much for clicking on it. I am in the bean bag of truth because today we're gonna get a little ranty. I just got back from several months of traveling, working on my vlog, doing a first time Europe trip, and I have collected some travel pet peeves that really ticked me off during all of my trips. Now these aren't some revolutionary pet peeves, these are all pretty common, but I really want to more so start a community and a dialogue in all of my videos where I want you guys to let me know your thoughts on all my videos. So with this, let me know what other pet peeves I might be missing, what really ticks you off, or if you think I'm being, I don't know, a little too harsh. I'm already getting loud. I need to calm down. But I just wanted to rant with you guys and hear your thoughts. So if you like videos like this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't subscribed. A lot of people watch my videos and they don't subscribe. It's fine, it's chill, no big deal. But if you like it, subscribe. Anyway, let's just hop into some of the things that really piss me off when I am traveling. First, let's talk about getting to your actual destination. I specifically am talking about the things that piss me off in an airport. Starting with number one, that's TSA. Not TSA itself. I mean, TSA is kind of annoying, but the people who just cannot understand how TSA works. I will never understand the people who wait in line for 15 or 20 minutes, get all the way up to the conveyor belt at TSA, and then realize, oh shoot, I have a bunch of change in my pockets. Oh, I have 3 metal belts on. Do I need to take off my hat or my 2 sweaters? Are we still taking off shoes? Oh, what? I have to take my laptop out of my backpack? Golly, this is all news to me. Did you not hear the agent yelling at all of us, berating all of us in line that if we don't follow directions, we're gonna be holding up the line? And then you thought, that doesn't imply to me I'm special and I'm allowed to carry body armor of metal going through the metal detector. No, buddy, come on, we all know this. And you know, maybe I've forgotten to take off my Fitbit, or maybe I forgot to pull my iPad out of a backpack once or twice, but it's the people who so egregiously act like they don't know anything about TSA really bothers me. Also, the people that bring like full shampoo bottles or like a bottle of water in their backpack and they're like, what? I can't have that on my carry-on. Are you kidding me? You're gonna throw away my expensive bottle of perfume? This is ridiculous. Where have you, this has been a rule since 9/11. Get it together, Maureen. My next pet peeve is when you're about to board the plane. My pet peeve is Southwest. I hate Southwest. I'm never flying Southwest again, mainly because it gives me so much anxiety that I didn't know I have to line myself up before boarding. So if you don't know, Southwest, they give you a number and a letter, and you have to line yourselves up like it's elementary school into this order in order to get on the plane. So you have to take your ticket and go one by one being like, hi, I'm A24, where are you? You're A28? Okay, I'm definitely in front of you. A30, you're 32, you're way back there, my guy, get over there. I'm not doing all that. I hop in the general region of where I'm supposed to be. God, people get so specific, like they're like, oh, I'm actually directly in front of you instead of directly behind you. Sorry, I'm just gonna scooch on in here. Thank you. Taking my rightful place in A23. Is that necessary? I just don't like Southwest for that reason alone. Also, there's no assigned seating, so you have to like get on the plane early and then find your seat. So I guess why people get really hypercritical about their place in line. It gives me so much anxiety. That is way too much human interaction that I'm looking for. That, nope, absolutely not. No more Southwest flights for me. Then my next pet peeve occurs when people have no awareness that the overhead bins are for large carry-ons. I have taken many flights this summer where I saw people putting their jackets in the overhead bin and closing it, or taking their little purse and putting in the overhead bins and taking up all the space away from the people who now have to check their roller carry-on bag because you decided to put a little wristlet wallet up in the overhead bins. No, you're not special, George. Get that out of here. I don't know why George is the one with the wristlet wallet, but you guys get it. Overhead storage is for large luggage. Put your personal items under your seat like everybody else. Follow the rules. It's not that freaking hard. You're not better than everybody else. You're not entitled to more overhead storage when you know that the flights have very specific specifications about what you can bring onto the plane, what should go under the seat, what needs to go in the overhead bins. Get it together, people. My blood pressure is rising because of you. Anyway, my next pet peeve involves the etiquette on a plane, and most of that has to do with the level of noise. I personally cannot stand when people talk loudly on the plane during the whole flight. I consider a flight like a classroom or a library. You should use hushed tones. You should not even be talking. You should be studying or reading or watching John Wick on the airplane TVs, you know? You don't need to be having full-ass conversations at full volume that the entire tube of people can hear. Ja feel? I went on a flight recently where, I kid you not, there was a couple talking 2 rows behind me the entire time, but so loudly that, like, I can tell you that when they land, they're going to their niece's birthday party and that she got her a couple squishmallows as a gift. If you're talking that loudly and that lengthily, maybe you should do it in a quiet tone, you know? This is a library, okay? It's a flight. We don't need to hear all of that. Just don't be loud. Similarly, the people who don't understand that they need to use headphones. I haven't really seen this from adults. Adults kind of understand that if you're on your phone or your own personal device that you need headphones. But it's the parents that give their kids their phone or their tablet to play games during flights that I'm just like, can you please turn off the sound of that game at least? Because I hear slot machine sounds going off behind me and now I feel like I need to go gambling or that I need to punch a child right now. I would never do that. But I'm thinking about it because golly, the sound is so freaking loud and you're so entitled to being able to use the airspace around us for your little Candy Crush sounds. No. I need to reject the mind demons right now because I am getting heated. And then my last pet peeve on flights is just children. I'm not going to go into any further detail. I have lots of videos on my views of children, but I don't want to sit next to them flying to New York for the next 6 hours, if you feel me. The next round of pet peeves is going to involve when you're actually at your destination, when you're on your vacation, and you just encounter those other travelers that make your blood boil like it is mine right now. The first thing that ticks me off are the people that go to a foreign place and then complain about the foreignness of it. And this might take a couple examples for you to get what I'm saying. I was in Paris and we got espressos like every day. We went for coffee every single day. In Paris, coffee is espresso. Like, if you order coffee, you have to order it differently. If you want cream, if you want milk, there's a different way about going in terms of ordering it. And there was this one couple who they ordered a coffee and they got an espresso, but it was the way that they went about essentially berating the barista and complaining about it that was so off-putting. They're sitting there being like, that's so weird. This isn't coffee. I ordered coffee. Okay, if you should have on the menu that it's espresso. What? If I want milk in my coffee, I have to order a cafe au lait? That's not right. That's not what that is, you guys. That's not how this works. Sir, you're in a foreign place and they do things differently. Why are you getting so mad over a cup of coffee? Like, respect the culture here. Ugh, there is a trash truck outside being so loud. I'm busy. These rants probably aren't very good for my anger issues. I don't really have issues, but this might be the foundation of them. Complaining about the foreignness also and obviously applies to language barriers. If we're in France and you're trying to make a food order and they don't speak English, you don't get to be mad about that. You don't get to be mad that they're speaking French in France. Okay, Jimmy Bob from Texas? You can't complain about that. If you hop in a cab and you're trying to explain where to go and they don't understand you, you need to pull up your phone and use Google Translate like a decent human being. You don't get to be mad about that. You don't get to be mad that they speak a different language than you in a country that you are visiting. And in London, like, they drive on the opposite side of the road, and people would get so mad about that. Like, I get if you're like, oh, this is so weird, it's so different getting used to. But when you're like angry and complain about it, you don't get to complain about a way a country does things that's different than you when you're visiting the country. I could think of like a million more examples. You guys let me know what other examples in terms of complaining about the foreignness of a place that you've encountered. But like, the entitlement is so real. The next pet peeve are those travelers that are just completely oblivious to their surroundings. My sister lives in New York. I'd love to live in New York someday. And I already embody the stereotype of a New Yorker that gets so pissed off when people don't walk fast enough. And I'm not talking about people that just like walk at a slower pace. I'm talking about groups of 3 people that take up the entire sidewalk and are looking left and right, pointing at things, stopping and looking at directions. I'm talking about the people that you're walking normally behind, but all of a sudden they pull out their phone and immediately just stop right in front of you, and you're about to bulldoze them on the sidewalk and then have a big altercation about it. You need to be aware of your surroundings and that you're not the only person on the sidewalk, that there's somebody behind you, there could be people in front of you. Just pull off to the side. Just like head onto the shoulder a little bit, then pull out your phone. Don't have your group stand in the middle of the sidewalk and create obstacle courses, okay? It's not that hard. Being oblivious to your surroundings also applied to, how should I say this? You're gonna get robbed. In Paris, I did my research. I saw that phone theft was very, very common in Paris, that bikers would literally ride up on their bicycles, take your phone out of your hand, and then ride away. Like, it was very prominent. So I got a phone leash. I was hyper aware of keeping all of my personal belongings close to me. When I'm on the train, when I'm in a very crowded attraction, I put my backpack on my front. I'm keeping a hold of everything. And it's not like I'm being like super suspicious of everybody or being like, who here is gonna mug me? No, it's just more of using common sense, being aware of your surroundings. There were so many times where I'd watch these travelers and get secondhand anxiety because of how they were handling their own belongings. I was in Versailles in Paris. I feel like I'm being that annoying study abroad person. Like, oh, well, when I went to Paris, I used to live in Paris. They eat bread there. Isn't that crazy? That's what I'm doing right now, but this is all related to travel, so cut me some slack here, okay? Give me a chance to explain myself. I remember going to museums and seeing dads with big old backpacks with like the pockets open and their zippers undone. And like, I have to be the one to go and pat them and be like, oh, your zipper on your backpack's open. And they're just like, oh, silly me. And I'm thinking like, put that on your front, keep it locked up, like keep it a little bit more secure. I actually have a really cute little mini story time. My sister and I, we went to go look at the Eiffel Tower before it sparkled. And when it was sparkling, there was this cute little family next to us that ended up like doing this really adorable group hug. And I took a photo of them and I sent it to them because it was this really precious family moment of them, you know, seeing the Eiffel Tower sparkle for the first time. But you can see in this photo that like the mom has her phone just in her back pocket. And so many people had this throughout Europe, just like their phones casually and lazily in their back pocket, just ready for the taking. Like, be aware of your surroundings. You were at the Eiffel Tower when it's sparkling. You know that there's 100 people walking around in close quarters to get that sparkling photo. Just be more mindful that your $1,000 mini smartphone is not gonna be there in 10 minutes if you don't keep an eye on it. And another just being oblivious of your surroundings example are the people that take photos, but in the most entitled way. I am all for getting your TikToks, getting your Instagram photos. I've had my own little mini photo shoots on the side of the road. I'm in social media, okay? I cannot fault that. But it's the people that feel entitled to taking their photos because they're just not aware of their surroundings. Here's an example. My sister and I went to this Love Wall. It's a pretty good photo attraction. And we had to like wait in line to get a photo. And there were people that would take their photo and then just stand in front of the wall and like chit chat and hang out and check their photos and be like, I don't know about this. Like maybe I should change things up. There are people waiting in line to take a photo. You don't get to stand there and take ownership of that little piece of property just because you're not done with your photo. You know, just be a little bit more mindful and respectful. And like I went and I saw Matilda in London. I love musicals. I love me my Broadway musicals. They're not considered Broadway though in London. That's kind of weird. I never thought about that. I love musicals and I went and saw this show and I was trying to get a photo in front of the poster. And like there was this family who they get their photo in front of the poster and then they just like stood in front of the poster even though there were clearly people waiting to take photos in front of the poster. You guys get the idea. This is more so about the people that just aren't aware of their surroundings and are so entitled in some situations that honestly, I'll probably be the next ones to rob them just to teach them a lesson. I'm not gonna do that. No. And my last destination pet peeve is when people just don't do their research about the place that they are visiting. Now, I will admit, I can be one of those people that travel and don't make any concrete plans and don't really know what I'm gonna get up to. I went to Milwaukee and I actually had a whole day where Instagram decided my day based on recommendations because I didn't plan for anything. I didn't really look up what I wanted to do. I didn't book tickets for any shows or attractions. And so that could kind of be considered not doing your research. But what I mean more so in the terms of pet peeves are the people that don't do their research and then complain about the way things are as a direct result of them not doing their research. For example, I took a train from Paris to London. Now, France uses euros. England uses pounds. So there is an exchange rate there. I encountered somebody who was so mad about this that when they got to the train station and the little English coffee shop did not accept euros, he was so mad. Like, my guy, that's on you. You didn't look up what kind of money they used at the place where you're going. I also heard some people complaining about the exchange rate of the American dollar versus their destination. So here in America, the US is $1, but in Europe, it's $1.25 kind of thing. So things are a little bit more expensive, and that kind of adds up if you're doing your shopping or you're getting steaks every night. And I heard some people complain of like, wow, like, I don't know if I brought enough money. This is ridiculous that things are more expensive over here. It's not that they're more expensive, it's just that your dollar may not go further. But like you didn't do your research and know that coming into this? You didn't think to look up how much you should bring based on how much things cost? I don't know, that one kind of seems on you. And I'm sure we've all heard stories of people who go to more conservative destinations in the world and do not properly cover up. They don't respect the cultural norms of their attire. And as a result of that, they might not be allowed access into certain churches or certain temples or certain public areas. Like, you didn't think to give it a goog of some of the cultural norms of the places that you're going to? Like, the bare minimum is, you know, learning hello, goodbye, please, and thank you in the language that you're going to. People don't even go that far. But to think that you don't even know some of the cultural norms of where you're going is insane to me, because that boils down to respect and being prepared and not holding up a line somewhere where you go because you have your shoulders exposed, you know? It just comes down to respect and being consciously aware of where you're going and that they might have different traditions and values. So just respect it and do a little bit of research before you get there. That's the moral of this whole video. Quit complaining and be a decent human being, which I'm going to start being right after I end this video. But those were just some of my travel pet peeves. I love ranting with you guys because I rarely get this worked up, and it's nice to work through it with you guys. But let me know some of your travel pet peeves. Let me know if you think I'm a little off base with some of these. But if you guys want even more details on all of the travels that I've been on, head over to my vlog channel. I've been doing several vlogs on a lot of the travels. I did a 30 before 30 bucket list where I went to, I think, 4 different states. I also just came from Paris and London. Check those out. Or you can also go to my social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok if you want silly little 30-second videos about it, or I don't know, fun pictures of my face. Just come and hang out with me on all facets of the internet. I don't bite. But I thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Toodles! I don't get why people complain so much. Because it's like, of all of these flavors, you decided to be salty? Come on. That's a good line. I don't know if I just made that up or if I just absorbed it from the internet because I'm chronically online. But that's a good little zinger right there.